Which widespread lightning, depending on how you look at it, it could be a good thing because you're not seeing the greater concentration of lightning strikes. But when you have lightning spread out across more of an area, that does mean more of your area has an opportunity to suffer the potential damage of what a lightning strike could cause. But at the moment, we're seeing roughly 450 lightning strikes just across our area alone. So that just goes to show how when we first came on the air, we had close to 1,500, maybe even 2,000 lightning strikes across the entire state. But then closer to home, it was around 900. Now we've seen that number really come down to around that 200 to 300 level, which again is good news. We're starting to see these storms weaken as they move through, but they are still packing a punch. They are still bringing heavy rain, gusty winds, and we're still talking about the threat for possible rotation or even a tornado. And so that's why we still have that tornado warning in place for Elkhart County. But again, it is far southern Elkhart County. But you notice as that storm moves toward LaGrange County, they right now just have a severe thunderstorm warning. It would not surprise me if we see that warning extended into parts of LaGrange County as these storms continue to make their way eastward and lifting to the north as well across our area. Even though the threat for severe weather is over, it still looks a little scary in Mishawaka from our Storm Alert weather camera powered by St. Joseph Health Systems. Overall, we're going to be talking about a transition from that damaging wind and potential rotating wind threat to one of a heavy rain threat. But our eastern communities still have that tornado watch in place. It goes until 8 o'clock, but I would not be surprised to see that get canceled here very shortly as we continue to get rid of those storms. A tornado warning, though, to our east in Branch County. Otherwise, severe thunderstorm warnings paint the rest of northeast Indiana and moving into central Michigan. And you can see storm tracker radar was pretty intense out there earlier with those showers and storms. But again, the strongest have since moved out of the area, leaving us with just periods of heavy rain, lightning, thunder, and it will get a little gusty at times. But there's the strongest storms moving through eastern Indiana and now moving out of our area. So I know some of you had to deal with some isolated showers this evening. Those are going to come to an end in the next few hours. We'll eventually get rid of the clouds too. The rain chances, though, will increase once again by Saturday evening. Should have some dry time on Sunday. It won't be a complete washout. But we are watching those temperatures remaining in the 70s. We won't really see things warm up a little bit until we get to the middle of next week. When you look outside right now, there are some isolated showers. One of them caused a little bit of havoc in and around South Bend. You could see that one lone shower that produced some heavy rain at times, heavy enough that the South Bend Cubs game had to end early. But now that we're getting rid of the sun, we're losing that daylight, losing some of that energy. So I expect that shower to really fall apart in the next hour or so. Here's the system that's going to bring us our snow this evening. It is diving slightly to the south and the east, so I don't expect to see as much snow in southwest Michigan and extreme northern Indiana. But if you're in our southern half of the area, this system will favor you more than others. Cloud cover, though, has to build a little bit first before we could get that snow to make it to the ground. What time are we expecting to see the snow? Probably around 8 o'clock is when it arrives. But again, it's likely going to be along and south of the state line. If you are north of the state line, this system is not going to bring much of an impact to you folks. Overnight, you could see that snow gets out of here fairly quickly, leaves behind clouds, and then we'll watch for a little more snow to arrive by Friday morning. We'll dive into this part of this setup in a few minutes, but here's the amounts of snow. Most of the area going to see just a light dusting if we see things cover the grass. If you're south of US 30, this is where we could be looking at totals closer to an inch, maybe just a smidge over that. And then we get to Friday, where more snow is in the forecast, but it is mainly in the form of lake effect. So across the whole area, we're not talking widespread snow. And this is centered mainly just in the center part of our area. But if you're in southwest Michigan, this is where we're going to see more of the snow.